everyone, this is Stephanie Manley with Copycat.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make country style chicken and dumplings. We all love chicken and dumplings because they just are a wonderful comfort food. So this is a very basic chicken and dumpling recipe. So our first part of it is we're going to make the stock of the soup. And for the stock of the soup, I am going to use both chicken thighs and chicken wings. I like to use the chicken wings because as you cook them, they release a lot of thickening agents, which helps give the soup a lot of full body. And then we're also going to season our basic chicken stock with celery, carrot, and onion. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to go ahead and begin to cook our chicken thighs because they're going to take a little bit longer. So I'm actually going to just salt and pepper these pretty heavily. And then we're going to cook them in a saucepan or a frying pan for just a little bit while we chop the rest of our veggies. So I'm going to salt and pepper these liberally on both sides, and then we're going to go ahead and start cooking them. Okay, so our chicken thighs are nice and salt and peppered. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my skillet pretty low, and I'm just going to set these down. And as they render out a little bit of fat from the skin and the chicken, then I'm going to turn up the heat just a little bit more. This way your chicken can saute in its own chicken fat, and it's going to release a really nice amount of flavor. So while these are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and chop up my veggies. All right, so our chicken, while it's not fully cooked, it has gotten nice and browned, and it's cooked enough because we're actually going to continue cooking this in the stock pot. So we're just going to put this off to the side. But what we did here was we rendered some of the fat, so now that when we are sauteing our vegetables here, we have something wonderful right now. So I have the chicken fat in here. I've heard that's called schmaltz before, but we're going to go ahead and just saute our veggies in here. So I have 2 onions, a couple ribs of celery, and a couple of carrots in here. So we're going to saute these until the onions are translucent and this is all kind of cooked through. So I'm also going to salt and pepper this because it's always a good idea to season everything while you're cooking. So whenever you saute onions, you want to go ahead and add a little bit of salt. This forces some of the water to come out so you get a better caramelization. So we're going to let this saute for a couple of minutes while we go ahead and get our stock pot ready. Okay, so our celery, our carrots, and our onions have browned a little bit. And now we're going to deglaze the pan. I'm going to use a little bit of dried cherry. And we're just going to scrape around the pan to get up all the nice brown bits because that's where all of our great flavor is. So go ahead, scrape up the pan. It smells incredible in here right now. And now I'm going to transfer this to the pot and I'm going to cook it in. Okay, and to this pot, we're also going to add our semi-cooked chicken thighs. Now we're going to come back later after this chicken cooks all the way through and we're going to debone it then. But for now, we're just going to do it like this. So in go our chicken wings. Okay, and now we're going to add our chicken stock. So at this point, we're going to let this simmer for about 45 minutes until the chicken cooks completely. Okay, so now we're removing the chicken from the stock. What this is going to do is going to let me deal with chickens a little bit cooler. I'm going to let this cool off for a little bit. And it's also going to let the chicken fat that's already in here come up to the top so we can skim some of that off so our soup is not quite as fatty as it is right now. So we're going to let this rest for a couple minutes and I'm going to go ahead and start on the dumplings while the chicken cools a little bit. Okay, so it's time to make the dumplings. I have skimmed off some of the fat on this soup, and I just want to get it up to a low rolling boil. So we're going to go ahead and add to our flour a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, and I'm just going to add about a half teaspoon of baking soda. And I'm going to stir this in to combine it really well. Now these are going to be the light fluffy dumplings and not the noodle type. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add in our butter, and I am adding in half and half for my dumplings. And we're just going to want to stir this together and let it combine a dough. And when it combines the dough, we're going to start to drop these into our soup mix. Okay, so you can see our soup has come to a rolling boil, and now we're going to go ahead and add our dumplings by small little balls. Okay, so I have my dumplings in there, and I just want to stir them occasionally to make sure that they're not too bunched up or anything. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and debone my chicken. And I'm just going to pull it off and just drop it into the pot. Alrighty, our chicken and dumplings is done. So I'm going to go ahead and dish some of this up. You can see it looks beautiful. It smells fantastic. This is simply filled with all sorts of carrots and onion and celery and these beautiful fluffy dumplings. You can see it's really, really easy to go ahead and make homemade chicken and dumplings. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to give it a big thumbs up here on YouTube, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next videos, and drop me a comment down below of what you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching.